Hey everyone, Ken here, website designer for coaches. And in this video, I'm going to look at 3 tools. They are websites, and their main purpose is I'm using them mainly to make sure my websites are loading fast. And I'm going to share these 3 tools with you. Websites, there's a lot of technical stuff going on with a website, and without getting into too much craziness, you want you want your website to load fast, and that's really the short version of it. You want it to be secure as well, um, but when it comes to the technology side of things, there's a lot of stuff that you'll probably just throw up if you had to go into, and even a lot of it I can't get into because in what I do, I've got to get client sites done, content created, guide the clients, get traffic, and make sure the websites are good. Make sure that they're engaging the clients, the customers, so to speak, and make sure everything works. So there's only so much you can focus on. But in this video, I want to share 3 tools and how you can look at them and put your website in, run them, see what's there, and I'll share with you some of the things that I'm looking at. And again, I can't look at every last detail of every last piece of technology and every code out there, otherwise you would just get nowhere. In a business, in a technology business, in the modern world, just staying focused and getting some things done is tough enough as it is. So you have to just kind of get in there, apply things, use them, and make the most of it. So in this video, it'll be good for you to do what I'm doing, run your website through 3 of these tools, see what you get, and essentially you want to make sure your website's running fast. Okay, let me just share them with you, and let me dive in. So coachingsitesthatwork.com, that's my website, which you probably know already. And here it is. I'm at the home page, and I'm logged into WordPress. That's why there's a bar at the top. And my site is simplistic. There's some technology behind the scenes, but I mostly keep it simple: text and images. There's a few videos floating around, some good videos floating around. Some are on YouTube, and most of the website is gonna be text and images, and just good use of that. And that's what loads fast too. Works really well. And so let's get into these 3 tools. One of them that I've used for a long time is called Pingdom, and they have a free tool to test your website speed. You go to tools.pingdom.com, tools.pingdom.com, and that'll get you to this website speed test. Pop in your website, and you pick the city you're in for the closest to you, and do that for your test. You want to do the city that you're in or that most of your clients are in. That's a good way to start your test. And just takes a moment. This is good because it's a quick and easy way to get the sense of the speed of your site. And they tell you some things down below about how it went. So my results: performance grade gave me 87. My total page size is 1.3 megabytes. It's maybe a little bit big. Under a megabyte's pretty good. And it loaded in 1.39 seconds. And that's really good. And they give you some more how to improve your page. And there's some technical stuff here. Probably you'll go cross-eyed looking at. But you can start if your speeds are slow, 4 or 5 seconds is starting to get slow. 8, 9, 10 seconds is just unacceptable. I like 1 second. I definitely like under 3 seconds. And if you just imagine, when you go to a website and you're sitting there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds goes by and you're not having much faith in this thing loading, you think there's going to be a problem. You think that something's wrong. But if you go to a website and you click to it, and 1, there it is. And you click on another page, 1, that page loads. Great. That feels right. Things are moving and you're good to go. So you want to get this. If this is around 1 second, that's fabulous. You're doing well. And you might want to do a sub page. So I have my book page, coachingsitesatwork.com/guide. That's a sub page. I can run a test on that as well. Now, some of your other pages may have more images and more content on it. So you want to run a sub page as well. So let's see what my this sub page gets. And this page may have a few more big images on it. Okay, 3.83 seconds. Now that page is the page that sells my book. So there are definitely a lot more images on it. It's a long page, although 1.4 megabytes is not that bad. It's got a higher performance grade, so I don't know what it's more excited about. But it took 3.83 seconds. That's 4 seconds. Ideally, I'd rather have it load very fast. So that's a bit slow in my book. And I might want to look at that page, look at the images, make sure there's no images that are too big. Although the whole page is 1.4 megabytes, that's not too big. There might be, I have some code on there. It's like if you go buy something, you click buy now. So there's a little code on there that has to go to another website in order to function. So there's a little bit more technical hoopla going on there. So that page is a little bit longer. That makes me a little less happy. And this is another page, my about page, 3.55 seconds. So, there's some things to perhaps look at there. Now, another tool, so you can put your website in there, try it out. I'm going to go to another tool, one called GTmetrix, gtmetrix.com. This is a powerful tool as well. Pop your website in there, and it'll give you speed tests, but also some other performance. Each of these tests have their own way of looking at things. So I'm going to test this. And there's also something where your page doesn't need to fully load in order for someone to start engaging with it. There's that first screen full that should show up. And if your site's designed well, that stuff at the top will show up first and the other stuff loads afterwards. And that's a good experience so that people feel like it's loading fast. Okay, so let me run GTmetrix on this one, and it's generating a report. And so for my home page, it's testing it out of Vancouver, Canada, and I'm mainly focused on US, and then there's UK, and then Australia, New Zealand. Those are more like the main English-speaking countries is kind of where my clients are mostly. I got a performance grade of A. LCP, this is 1.3 seconds, quite fast, and it's largest contentful paint, LCP. That's what, if you look down here, that's what that means. So it's basically when you get a full screen full that you can start to look at. So the screen is painted. I don't know the exact definition of it, but that's my assumption of what it is. Because if I scroll to the right over here, actually this is the whole thing, 1.6 seconds to become fully loaded, 1.4 seconds to be interactive. Maybe I can scroll. So it gives you a little bit different of what's here, but knowing this number is pretty good. So if things are green, high performance, that's good. 1.3 seconds to load this first content paint. And that's good. I look down below and I've fixed some things and I've had some hiccups and there's some other issues. Content delivery network. I'm not using one of those. That would probably speed things up. And this is stuff that'll make your eyes, go cross-eyed, which is why if your website if you have speed issues, which can happen for various reasons, then you should get someone else on board to help you fix it. I could be one person. Whoever built your website could be help. The host company can also help. Any support groups you're in or theme providers can help. Okay, so let me actually do the other page, the sub page for my book guide. Let's test that and see what we get. You definitely want to do the home page and then a sub page. Yeah. GTmetrics.com. Technology, there's so much of it out there. There's so much. Okay. Ooh, this page is not so hot. And it got an E, so I have probably some things to look at. And let's see what the fuss is. So the fully load is 7.2 seconds. That's not great. But given the amount of content on the page, I'm okay with that. But the first content paint is 2.6 seconds. So the page loads about 2.6 seconds later, you'll see stuff. Plenty you can start engaging with. And so I'm happy with that. It's a big page. There's a lot of content on there, and it's selling the book. So fair enough. Okay, so there is GT Metrics. They have, I'm sure, resources and stuff and pricing, and this needs to be looked at. Not good. Oh, here's a high impact item. Eliminate render blocking resources. So I'd have to look closer at this to sort it out, but they give you some tips on how to improve it too. This is probably highly technical for most of you, so you probably don't want to go here. If your pages are loading slow, that's really bad. So you'll want to get that sorted out. And again, slow over 5 seconds is not good. 3 seconds I'm happy with. 1 second is what I want. I want it to be nearly instant. And there are a lot of things you can do to improve these speed. So, but I want you to use these tools to get a sense of what's going on. You can even to start to see if you have an issue or not. Okay, let me go to the third tool. This tool, a client of mine mentioned it, and I don't know how popular or not popular this tool is, called WebPageTest.org. It looks kind of a bit dated, but I did play with it, and I like that it's giving me a little bit more about other things going on, like security. So WebPageTest.org, put your website address in there, and let me show you some things that I'm looking at here. It'll also give you a sense of speed of your website. So, if I have 3 places telling me my website is slow, then I'm concerned. So this test, they have these things across the top, 7 of them, I guess. And I can go to a couple. So let me look down here. Essentially, okay, across the top, F, security score. So I can click on that to see what the story is. But I got an A for first byte time. And that's the amount of time it takes to get the first bit of information from the host. So it took 0.34 seconds to get that. And that's a good thing to look at. If your website's already taking 2 seconds to even get connected to the visitor to get that first bit of information, that's quite slow. So that alone can do can improve speeds. And then keep alive enabled. I don't know what these things are. I'd have to think about them, look at it. It's giving me an A on compressed images, which is good because images are a common reason why sites load slowly. Like if you just buy images off of some stock site or get them free or get them off your phone, they're usually going to be way too big, and they're going to kill the speed of your website. So unless your images have been compressed or quote unquote prepared for the web, they're probably going to be too big. Some websites, more and more websites will have some way of compressing them as you upload them, but still, it's often a problem. So what am I looking at here? Again, speed is really the thing I'm concerned about, and it looks like the first contentful paint. Again, that's what we saw before. It's about 3 seconds. Document complete, about 4.2 seconds. Okay. So it's in the 3 second realm, and again, like the different sites I've used to measure this, Pingdom's given me 1 second, and GT Metrics was giving me 1 second to load that first content full. So this is, a few of these together give me a sense of what's happening. And yeah, there you go. So I'm going to, how do I feel about my site and the tests? Um, I'm okay with it. I probably want to look closer at the guide page that I have and see if there's a way I can speed that up. Also, I think there was a mention of effective use of CDN. A CDN is a content delivery network, and if you use them well, which I'm clearly not, um, you can have your content more quickly dispersed. So that's something I could look at. And yeah, this stuff, a lot of this stuff gets into stuff that I am not an expert on. I can only make my educated guesses on from what I hear and what I see. But ultimately, what I do is I speed up my site and I start figuring things out to get to a good speed. Then I stop. I cannot be, know every last detail. You just got to solve problems and move forward. So, but the security score is something that I looked at and it's red, so that makes me freak out. So there's basically, if I click on that, I get this STS or strict transport security. This is something that, and then there's also one down here, high severity content security policy. This is basically some information that you want your website to send to the browser, to the person who's viewing the site. Not even the person, but just the technology there, knowing that things are secure. And looks like this one is more of a scripting limitation they want you to implement. So there's some things you can do to fix this as well, and I'm definitely not going into that here. But this one you can quickly fix with just a header, some header code, which is not that big a deal. But this test gives you things to look at, and if you have your developer or you're trying to solve problems yourself, you can start looking at ways to solve this. I'm solving some of these. I have a few client websites that I've been working on, and let me pull up one. This one is Trauma Recovery Coach. So let me run hers through each of these three, and we'll just take a look at what her data is looking like. Trauma recovery support and test and start test and start test. Oop, I think I already did that one. Oops. Test. No. Trauma. Okay. Test. So 3 tests running. And I did some stuff with content delivery networks. I did some stuff trying to clear up those security issues. But let's just run through them and see what a different website might look like. And this one is 1.14 seconds load time. Got a lot of bad scores on these other things. And I'm not too worried about that because the speed is fast. But I'm a little bit curious about that. And then let me go over to GT Metrics. She got a good score, an A. And 1 second to load that first content full. As you can see up here, it's her face, some text, and a big image in the back, actually, too. And I believe I set up something called Cloudflare, which is a content delivery network that speeds things up, and I don't have that on my site yet. What is this one using? Which I'm not sure. It says use one, but I thought I was already using something. So anyways, let's not worry about that. But look, here's one that I've been working on, and this one I was more focused on recently, so speeds are pretty good. And let's look at this last thing. Okay, so we have this one's saying about 4 seconds to load the page, which is weird because other ones say different, so it's hard to know exactly what the differences are. And here we have a security issue. This one has the content security policy. Yeah, this cross scripting, I don't know what that is exactly, so I'll take time to dissect and figure out what that issue might be. And then this one uses a content delivery network, which says it's effective use of it here. So I don't know what each one is testing, but here you are. The first content is 4.67 seconds, but on Pingdom and GT Metrics, it was looking like 1 second. I wonder where this is testing it from Virginia. So that shouldn't be an issue. Again, these tests have their own different things they're looking at. But by doing all three of these, you can get a sense of what's happening. If you're getting a lot of red stuff up here, especially compressed images, time to first byte, those things can be fixed. A lot of these things can be improved upon. And your goal, again, is just the goal when you try to make sure your website is running well is to make sure that it's running fast. Your goal is you want speed. You want a fast loading site. And you can use these three tools to get a sense of what's happening, what may or may not be working, where to start searching to solve the problems. You're most likely going to want a techie on board or contact your technical service providers, your host, maybe a theme provider if you're on WordPress, or the developer who you're working with. Okay, enough blabbing from me. Those are 3 tests. This is a video. I will probably make a blog post and add the links below. If you're stuck on something and you want to ask me about it, post it in the comments or get in touch. My name is Ken Schroeder. I'm a website designer for coaches, and I'm over at coachingsitesthatwork.com. Hit like, post a comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And cool. I'll see you guys next time.